Hi everybody, this is DrkBLADExx at Dark Enforcers, aka Black Hawk. I'm your leader for DCUO. What's going on? How y'all doing? As you can tell in the video, we are doing a feat known as Step Lightly. It takes place within Avarice Impurity and also Rage Impurity. This is a T6 alert. Part of the Warlight Part 2. Alright, so as you guys can see in here, I'm inside Avarice Impurity, but this also goes for Rage Impurity to a point. So let me get out everything that works for both sides and then just talk about the hero side, because that's what side I'm doing. Right, now this goes for both sides. This is a really buggy, glitchy feat, so it's a hard feat to get even when you do everything right. So you need to do everything right every time. You may have to queue up twice for this, unfortunately. There is a speed that you guys need to be doing when you walk in here. See how I'm walking right now? This will void you the feat. Do not do that. Do not do that. You will run into the landmines and you won't even see them pop up. You need to be going this slow right here. See my grip? You need to be going that slow. That is not an exaggeration, and I'm not kidding. You need to be walking that slow. If you walk any faster than that, you're going to run right into a landmine. 100, alright? 100. Also, this is a very glitchy place, but let's get on to that first. See how I walk slow? Landmine pop right up? That's all you need for this feat. You need every single landmine to pop up, but do not activate the landmine and do not disable the landmine. This section right here has 2 landmines, and each section has that. Now this section over here, however, is completely free. Do whatever you want here. There will never be a landmine in here. That is because this disabler is here. You use this disabler to disable the landmines. That's for the other feat known as Untrapped. However, we're doing Step Lightly, so we're not going to pick that up. Although Superman is about to pick it up. But, oh well, I tell him to put it back down and we're good to go. Alright, so every 2 of those sections right there should have a landmine. 2 of them. Alright, now this is where the bugs come in. This, Avarice Impurity, and also Rage Impurity are heavily bugged. Landmines may appear on the walls, they may appear in the air, they may overlap rooms. Alright, so when you come into a room like this, or section, try to stay on that black part right there. Don't go beyond that black part, because there may be landmines everywhere. Now, just in case you guys are wondering, the only landmines you're worried about are the ones that show up outside of combat. Put it this way, if you're in an area and landmines just pop up, you know, while you're fighting things, they don't count. But landmines that were already put there purposely, like those right there, those landmines don't count. Those are the enemies doing it. Those landmines do not count. Only the ones that are already there before enemies even showed up matter. So don't worry about setting up any landmines, besides the actual ones that are needed for the feat. Alright, so once again, to get this feat, you must uncover but do not activate a single landmine. Alright, so I'm saying this from the perspective of a group that is 105, 106 to actually come in here. Each room will have 5. I repeat. Each room will have 5 landmines. Hallways can number in any quantity, really. But each room should have 5 landmines, except for the room where you're freeing the lanterns. That room will have 4, and it will be in a plus-shaped pattern. Okay, so what you want to do is walk slowly around this room, have your whole crew do that. Everyone should be working together. Once you see 5, you're good to go. Now head over to the portal. That's it. Yeah, each room has 5. Now the hallways are different. Alright, now let's talk a little bit about the next section. Okay, so there should be 3 levels, pretty much, this place. But this part right here is okay to step. There's nothing here. But the next section will have landmines to watch out.
I don't trust.
Alright, now this is buggy, so this now goes for both Avarice Impurity and also for Rage Impurity. There should be 2 landmines in a small section like this area right here. Should be 2 landmines. If there's there's anything under that. Like, see this one right here? This one kinda, this goes for Avarice. This one kinda goes into the second room a little bit, so it might count for both sides. However, if you really only ever see just the one landmine, that's when you gotta ask yourself, is it glitched or bugged? There could be a landmine under the floor, which you can't get to because you can't go through the floor. There might be one off to the side of the screen where you can't get to because it's like through a wall. That's there's no way to get to it, period. Or it might be above you. So yeah, unfortunately this is glitched, that's just a possibility. Now if it's above you, you have a little bit of leeway, because if it's above you, you might be able to still get to it. Now, my suggestion is to very, very slowly hug one of the walls and fly upwards, or crawl upwards very slowly. Now while you're doing that, if by chance you see the words grounded pop up, that means it's above you. Do not go up anymore. You're good. You're good. If you ever see the words grounded, that means you just found one. You might not be able to see it, but you found one. Don't worry about it. Alright, so this is the Lex Luger fight. As I said before, there are 5 landmines per room, besides the room that has lanterns that you have to free. What you could do is you could fight him first on this black part, just so that you don't activate anything. Or you can go around the room, find them all, and then fight them. It's up to you.
Shows up somewhere in this middle panel. Usually it's right in front of those two.
I choose to do the latter though, but whatever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. With those landmines that are going to be off to the side or above you, if it's above you, you might be able to fly upwards or crawl up the wall very, very slowly.
That one's off to the side.
And then pan around to see if you see any landmines floating in the air.
Okay. There goes the two that's next to him.
Hopefully, you see one if you only have the one landmine on the ground. They should all be on the ground, but this is a bug instance. Now, also, if you do all of that and you still only find the one landmine in a section, or no landmines in a section, there's still hope. There might be a section that has 3 landmines instead of having the 2. Hopefully that's the case for you. So there's still a little bit of hope right there. Alright, so this is the Lex Luger fight. Remember, this to try to fight him in area. Don't go running around the room. You don't want to run into any landmines. And you definitely don't want to activate any landmines. Okay. Just stay in the section that you know is free of landmines. Don't do anything extra. Now this is also saying it from the point of view that you have a balanced group. You know, you have a healer, a DPS, a tank, a troll. And that you're coming in at that level of 105, 106, you know, somewhere around that. Just remember that with a balanced group, this will be a lot easier.
I can't see shit.
Now, if you're lucky, and I do mean if you're lucky, this next area, which is the last area, aka the 3rd area, will be the only place a glitch will actually show up. Usually it only shows up in this area, but I said the other part earlier because sometimes it does happen, but usually if there's going to be a glitch, it's going to happen in this area up here. Once again, this section right here is completely free of landmines, but the next section up ahead and on forward, nothing but landmines. Alright, so right after we get over this little bump right here, nothing but landmines. Now,
We should be good.
here's a way to kind of make sure that you don't glitch anything yourself. See the section right here? You don't want to go forward yet. You do not want to go forward. You want to clear out this room and then head forward. See, we got our 2 landmines right there. Forget about that section over there. I guess now to the north. Forget about this section up here. Don't go up there whatsoever. What you want to do is you want to actually clear out the room up ahead. Now, I'm not sure if this glitches it out or not, but sometimes it does, because you find landmines here that you shouldn't be finding yet.
But like right now, I don't think.
Or you'll find landmines that won't
didn't think
pop
it was
up
gonna
here
show up
because the
until you
door
did
is
that
now
room earlier.
closed. But this is just a little tip to help you guys out. Like, see right now? Only one of them. It's kind of like, yeah.
That's a bad sign. There's only one.
I can pretty much guarantee, like, 9 times out of 10, had I cleared out that section up there, this
It must
area right
belong
here
to
probably
X
would have
then.
been cool. But now there's only one landmine, which means now I gotta look for a section that has 3 of them. Or maybe it's above me, who knows? Or below me, or off
Every
to the
section
side.
has 2.
Anyway,
That means one's glitched.
just so
it's
you guys
in the
have a little
air,
bit of
not
luck,
on the ground.
make sure that you guys clear out the room first before you go off ahead. Now see me, I gotta check all the sides and corners just to make sure there's not a other one in the area. It does get a little bit annoying having to check every single
Half in this room,
spot,
half in the
but
other one.
sometimes you gotta do what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
that could be
Yeah.
it.
Especially if you don't want to
Hopefully
have to
find
come
out.
here over and over again trying to get this one easy feat. Although I gotta admit, out of both of those feet, both Step Lightly and Untrapped is a lot easier. But I'll explain it later why that is. Okay, now this room. This is the room where you gotta free the lanterns. These landmines will always, 100% always be in the same area. Always. They never change
There really
ever.
is no
And I
secret
do
place
mean
then.
that. They never change ever. Every other landmine in this alert will always be in different places except for this room. They're always
Clear
in
it
the
out
same
first
spot.
then.
So what you want to do is just attack them where they are. Just attack mines where they are. Now remember, this room, as far as the landmines, will be in a plus-shape shine. So think of it as north, south, east, west. They're probably going to be, I mean, they're not probably. They are going to be in that shape. There's no doubt about it. Alright, so yeah, walking around here like this, there's no point. There's no point to it. There's no point to it. I was really just doing this right now to show you guys that it's not going to change whatsoever. There's not going to be any landmines up here whatsoever. It's going to be in a plus shape. Not the most perfect plus shape, but it's going to be in a plus shape. So I'm about to hit the one that's going to be at the north side. There you go. Alright. Now, come around this, and then I hit the one that's going to be all the way on the right side. Like I said, it's going to be in a plus shape. And you're done. That's it. That's all the landmines in this room now. Once again, take out the constructs. I'm just like doing this just to prove a point right now. Also, this is a voiceover, but I'm pretty much just doing this now to prove a point. There's nothing else in this room. Once again, go ahead and take out the orange lanterns. There's nothing else to activate. Like I said, it's going to be somewhat of a plus sign.
Oh, that's weird. Let's take out these guys so I can actually walk to that corner.
And this room will always remain the same. So those spots right there, you can memorize those spots. Every other spot, don't worry about it. Alright, once you defeat these lanterns, you go over to the bubbles and you free them, and then you continue on your journey. And hopefully we find an area that has the third landmine, because we only have a section that has the one now.
Alright, my only other guess is this is the room with just the 4.
Like I said, this is a
Walk
voiceover.
over
It's pretty much over. Just activate the circles and call it a day. But this was back when I was being thorough as fuck, so yeah. There's only 4 in this room ever. There's no reason to keep going around the sections. Like, I guarantee you, the room that has the people that you have to free, there will only be 4
I think we're good.
landmines, and they will all be in the areas as you see on the screen right now. Every other landmine in this alert is randomly placed in random spots, but this room is always the same. Guaranteed 100. Alright, now let's go on to the next section. Once again, there's our 1 landmine. This is kind of where you want to, yeah.
75 minutes to do it, Lord.
Maybe hug the walls, float up, see if you see something. At the same time, what I like to do is actually, I like to go ahead forward and see if I can find an area that has 3 landmines instead of 2. Yeah, I know it's doubling back if you miss an area, but I'd rather do that than, like, waste time there. At least I uncover all the other landmines, you know?
Get it, but I think it's in the air somewhere. Actually, you know what?
Well, that's up to you. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna float up slowly, slowly, slowly.
Test out that there.
Turn your camera around. Since you're above the height of the ones that are up in the air, you should be able to see them.
Yeah, last time I had to get up.
Now,
really
lucky for
high to
us,
actually
just
see
walking
it.
under them, even if
Floating
you're
one that was
really
floating in the
below
air.
them, should activate them.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, even the ones that are above you should be activated just by you walking under them. Should be. Alright, so there's 1 in this section. Now, this is where I kind of get like, what the fuck? Because now we have 2 sections with just the 1 landmine.
Let's see. Nothing over there on that edge.
Now, there are actual times where a section truly only does have the 1 landmine in it, but
Maybe they just
loosely
decided
that's,
to put one in here. Not the first
you know,
one.
it's bugs, so sometimes
good
it's
too.
kind of like a, damn, I hope there's some more landmines later on. But if you're lucky, it truly is just a section with just the 1 landmine. Like I said, they usually have 2, but sometimes they, honest to God, just have the 1 landmine.
Oh shit.
Alright, so now all we do now is just keep going forward and see if we can find any more sections.
Just 1?
Yeah, it's
Now this is the only part that weirds me out. When I get to a section and there's only 1 landmine for 3 whole sections.
Grounded anywhere, so I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
see,
on.
damn. And I was walking slowish.
Oh,
You know? It almost ran into that.
I almost walked into that. Oh god.
That was close.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting that right there.
None of those.
Alright.
Alright, so this section has 3. See, we're good. That takes care of 1 of the other sections over there.
If there's only 1 in 1 spot, then 1 spot has 3.
Alright, well, I feel a little bit more calmer now, so I guess we're good.
I expect the other ones to do the same thing.
Alright, now here is the very, 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 very hard part. This is the last section that should have any landmines. Section up there won't have any landmines, but if you want to go there and check anyway, go ahead. More power to you. Now,
Alright, I guess that one's good.
here is the actual, yeah, there we go, right here. This is the last section. How can I say this? Before you go into that room and talk to Hal Jordan, you're going to want to look over every nook and cranny that you skipped past, or an area that you didn't see anything in. Alright? Every nook and cranny, because this feat is granted after you fight Larfleeze. However, once you talk to Hal Jordan, all landmines disappear. All landmines disappear. That's right. This feat is only granted after you defeat Larfleeze, or if you're in Rage and Purity, after you defeat Bleeze. Now, with that being said, keep this in
Are you
mind.
serious?
If you're doing the untracked feat, this feat is granted the second that you actually, disable all traps. So you don't gotta talk to anybody. Once you do that, you can just leave the whole raid. You don't gotta finish it.
I have no
But
idea.
for this feat, you actually have to beat it.
Got it already, but still.
That's right. So the last like 8 minutes is me just explaining what to do when you get inside here.
Slow pace or not.
So once again, to get this feat, you not only have to do it the right way, you actually have to beat the instance. So first, make sure your team is in the room, and then you're ready to begin. When ready, and you're sure that you've found all the things possible, talk to Hal Jordan. Let me put this another way. If there's anything you want to do, anything that you want to check over, whether you're doing Avarice Impurity or Rage Impurity, if there's anything you want to check over as far as the landmines, making sure you got everything, this is the time to do it. Once you talk to Hal Jordan or once you talk to Sinestro, you cannot check anything anymore. Okay, so no matter which feat you're going for, once you talk to them, all the landmines disappear from the instance, and it's time for the boss fight. You can't check or redo anything, so if you messed up, you will have to re-queue the entire instance. Right. So this is the time to check it out. Now, we just talked to Hal Jordan, so now it's too late to go back and check anything. Now, let me explain how you're actually going to beat this. Alright, as you can see in the battery, there are mists in the battery. You have to clear out the mist. Now, as long as there's mist in that battery, Larfleeze cannot take any damage whatsoever. However, this boss fight is also glitched. Yeah, it's also glitched too. It's really messed up. This whole instance is just a big bug, a glitch, whatever you want to call it. Alright, as you fight Larfleeze, he will eventually call in constructs to fight. Now, those engineers that you freed, they're going to be behind that little barrier over there. They're not combat ready. All they do is tech, so they don't fight whatsoever. So if they get attacked, they get scared, they run back to their barrier. Yeah, it kind of sucks, right? You have to protect them all the way so that they can make it over to this teleporter and activate it. See, the teleporter will let you go inside here, and it'll let you cleanse this mist here. Now, you're going to have to go inside here at least 3 times, and that's if you actually cleanse all 4 mist things that are inside here. If you mess up somehow, then you're going to be in here more than 3 times. But what you want to do, like, see right there, I didn't get that last one. So now I have to go back in there once they finally open up the portal, which means now it's going to be a total of 4 times in there. But what you want to do is you want to go in there and clean all the mist as fast as possible. Now, what you guys saw me doing when I was in there was I put up my shield to kind of block from the knockback, but the shield doesn't stop a knockback. A knockback just happens. The best thing you can do is just let the knockback happen, break out of it, and keep going on your day. Don't bother putting up a shield. It actually slows you down time-wise, because you're only in there for a couple of seconds. Now, this is why I'm saying that you have to keep going back in there over and over again. Alright, notice that there was only 1 mist in there this time. Alright, that means until you actually complete each turn, levels, you're going to be going in here like thousands of times, pretty much.
This part right here is okay to step. There's something here.
So make sure you get it right the first time, just so you can end this battle as fast as possible.
Alright, now this is buggy. So this now goes for.
So you go in there, you cleanse all 4. That's 1 turn.
For
the engineer reopens it. Go back in there. You cleanse all 4. That's the 2nd turn.
Landmines in a small.
The engineer goes back over there, opens back up. You go back in. That's the 3rd turn, and you're done. You're done.
Well, there's anything
now that's saying that you grab the 4 mists each time you go in there. If you mess up, as you saw, you have to finish up your first turn, or that turn, I guess you could say.
However, if you really only ever see just the 1 landmine, that's when you gotta.
Well, like I was saying, the bubble, the shield does not stop the knockback. So there's no point in putting it up, because it takes a second to put up your shield, which means there's a second off of your time actually in here. Chances are you're going to actually run out of time.
Or it might be above you. before you actually get yourself done.
Unfortunately,
Okay,
this
there
is
we go.
glitched. That's just
That turn was
possibility.
completely done the right way. Now,
If it's above you,
let me explain
you
the
have a little bit of
bugs.
leeway,
Like I said, this thing
because
is
if it's
bugged.
above you, you might be able to still get to it.
Anytime that
Now,
one of the
my
constructs
suggestion
or
is to
larvae
very,
attacks
very
a green
slowly
lantern,
hug one of
it
the walls
stops
and fly
moving.
upwards,
And
or
if it gets
crawl
attacked too many
upwards very
times, it
slowly.
will actually run back to its barrier because it's
Now,
afraid.
while you're doing that,
But
if
the bug is
by
this.
chance you see the
There's a
word
chance that
grounded pop
it
up,
gets hit so many times that it
means it's
just
above
stops
you.
moving,
Do
period.
not
It doesn't
go
run
up
back. It just
anymore.
stays in
You're
place
good.
and it never moves
You are
again.
good. If you ever see the words grounded, that means you just
That's
found
right,
one.
it never
You might
moves
not be able
again,
to
which
see it, but
means
you
you're
found one,
gonna
don't worry
probably
about it.
have to reach
Alright, so
you.
this is the Lex Super fight.
Yeah.
As I
Yeah,
said
no, it
before,
sounds bad, right?
There are
Because it is.
5 landmines per
There's a
room,
way
besides
around
the
it,
room
though.
that has lanterns that you have to
When that
fight.
happens and you notice that
What you could do
the
is you
engineer
could fight
is
him
just
first
not
on this
moving at
black
all,
part, just so that you don't
the only thing you can
activate
do
anything.
is let
Or
the
you can go
engineer
around the
get
room,
defeated.
find them all, and then fight them.
Don't worry, the engineer won't die. He'll just be so defeated that he'll appear or go back to his
I
area.
choose to do the latter, though, but whatever.
It's better than redoing the whole
Anyway,
instance
back
again,
to what I was
trust
saying.
me.
With those
But yeah,
landmines,
that's why I'm
that
saying
are
this
going to
area
be
is
off to the
really,
side or
really
above you.
bugged.
If it's above you,
Really,
you might be able to
really
fly
bugged.
upwards or crawl
It
up the
sucks.
wall very, very
There's
slowly.
just no way to say it.
And then pan around to see
sucks.
if you see any landmines floating in the air.
But it happens. Right now, as you see the Starfleece's health, he is actually taking a
See
little
one
bit
if
of
you only
damage.
have
Finally.
one landmine on the ground. They should all be on the ground, but this is a bug
Alright,
instance.
now here's the last
Now,
turn.
also,
Hopefully.
If you do all of that and you still only find the
What you
one
want to do is you want to come
landmine
in
in
here
a section,
and activate
or no landmines
all
in a
the as
section,
fast as possible.
there's
Forget
still
your
hope.
shields if you
There
have
might be a
shields. Don't worry
section
about
that
that.
has 3 landmines instead of
A
having 2.
knockback's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do to stop that.
Hopefully that's
so just
the
let
case.
it happen and don't
So
let it
there's
slow you
still a
down.
little bit of
Just
hope.
do your thing. There you go. Just as I activated the fourth one, I got kicked out.
Remember,
So it's still
just
counting.
to try to fight him in the area. Don't go running
Right.
around
Larfleeze
the
can
room.
now
You
be
don't wanna
hurt. Now,
run
when your
into
guys
any
get trapped, you're gonna have to take them
And
to
you
the
definitely don't wanna
light
activate
to
any
break them
landmines.
free.
Just stay in the section that you know is
Keep that
free
in
of
mind, because that's going to
landmines.
happen a
Don't do
lot
anything
to your
extra.
teammates. So there'll always be that. There you go.
Now this is also saying
There's
from
the
the point
green
of
light.
view that you have a balanced
Hal
group.
Jordan will
You know,
make one
you
of
have
those
a
in the
healer,
room anytime that he
DPS,
thinks
tank,
when your teammates are
patrol.
going to get captured, like myself. Also, what I have to do is
Especially
pick
coming
you
in at
up
that
and
level
carry you over
105,
to the light.
106, you know, somewhere right around that.
And now you're free.
You actually ran in circles around.
Okay, so
Just
at this
remember
point,
that
all you have to do now
Master
is
is
just
a lot
defeat
easier.
Glomulus. Not that hard, right? Not really, actually, it isn't that hard. But not Glomulus, Larfleeze. Glomulus actually can't take any damage whatsoever. He can actually knock you back, stun you sometimes, but that's it. He can't actually do too much to you. Think of Glomulus as a dot that the enemy has. Or think of it as a pet mechanic. You can't target the pet though, but you can target Larfleeze, and that's all you need to worry about. Just worry about Larfleeze. Take him out ASAP, and this feat is done. And if you do everything right, meaning you got all the landmines, you discovered them, but you did not trip any of them off, you get the feat Step Lively. Once again, guys, thanks for watching this video. This is DrkBLADExx of Dark Enforcers, aka Black Hawk Division Leader for DCUO.
Is still the same,
Dark Enforcers,
but
darkness
if it
rises.
disappears,
Thanks
you
again.
can't undo it.